You've probably heard that Donald Trump declared a public safety emergency here in D.C. and ordered a federal takeover of the police department. He did that because he said that crime is out of control in D.C., and I gotta say, that is not supported by the facts. Violent crime has actually declined significantly in recent years.
This action today is unsettling and unprecedented. I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past, that we're totally surprised. We also know that we're not experiencing a spike in crime, but a decrease in crime.
Bowser pushed back hard on Trump's characterization of the crime situation, and she called this federal takeover unsettling and unprecedented. But she also seemed to surrender to the idea that Trump had the authority to do it. Now, one reason for that might be that the D.C. Home Rule Act of 1973 gives the president broad latitude about what's an emergency. But still, if you're the D.C. mayor, why not push back on this in court? The D.C. mayor's office did not respond to our request for comment. There may be other factors at play. Bowser recently announced a $4 billion deal to build a new stadium for the Washington Commanders in D.C., and that requires federal cooperation. In any event, the state of emergency is now in place. It can last up to 30 days, and after that, only Congress can extend.
Donald Trump hijacked the police force I gave almost 20 years of my life to. The Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. My department. It's no longer under the control of the city it serves. It now answers directly to him. And if you think this is about crime, you're already swallowing the bullshit. This morning, Trump invoked emergency powers under the Home Rule Act to strip D.C.'s mayor of control over the Metropolitan Police Department. He put my former department under federal command, his command, and flooded the city with National Guard troops.
Washington, D.C. should be one of the safest, cleanest, and most beautiful cities anywhere in the world. And we're going to make it that. We're going to make it safe. We're going to make it smart. We're going to make it beautiful. So beautiful.
For almost 2 decades, I wore that badge. I bled for the city. I watched good cops risk their lives, not for a political agenda, but for the people who live here, for the families who trusted us to protect them. Those cops didn't sign up to be the president's personal enforcers, and yet, that's exactly what Trump is trying to turn them into. Trump's been laying the groundwork for months, painting D.C. as a lawless hellscape, cherry-picking crime stats and stories, and cooking up a narrative of a city out of control. He knows it's a lie. The numbers don't back him up. He says it's to fight a crime wave. Well, let me tell you about this so-called crime wave. Homicides, they're down 27% compared to last year. Shootings are down 31%. Carjackings, down 35%. That's not a city spiraling into chaos. That's a city making progress. And it makes Trump's Blood in the Streets Act even more full of shit. But fear, it's the most powerful tool in authoritarians' playbook. And here's the thing. When you control the cops, you control the streets. When you control the streets, you control the people. That's the real plan, his secret plan. Trump didn't just wake up and decide to help D.C. He manufactured a crisis to seize control of the Metropolitan Police Department and fold it into his growing authoritarian machine. He wants D.C.'s police, my police, carrying out his political will, cracking down on whoever he decides is the enemy, whether that's protesters, journalists, or political opponents. By sending in the guard, by ripping the badge out of the city's hands and putting it into his, Trump has essentially put the nation's capital under martial law. Not declared, but enforced. That's how strongmen operate. They don't need to announce the dictatorship. They just start acting like one. And once you turn a police force into an arm of a political movement, you can aim it at anything. A march you don't like, a community that doesn't vote for you, a reporter who asks the wrong question. I've seen authoritarian regimes overseas do this. Now I'm watching it happen in my own backyard, to the department I once served. I swore an oath to protect the city. I didn't do it for the mayor. I didn't do it for a party. I didn't do it for the president. I did it for the people who called D.C. home. And today, those people are living under a president who just declared himself their top cop and their warden. If you're watching this from somewhere else, don't think you're safe. This is the playbook. Start with D.C., normalize it, then roll it out wherever you want.
Where did they? Which reveal what?
California last night, yet another Republican lawmaker was feeling the heat from voters at a town hall back in his district. Congressman Doug LaMalfa was nearly drowned out by boos and jeers at his event in Chico on everything from the big beautiful bill to the Epstein files and his support of Israel.
The work done in the big bill was to try and focus. It's interesting, the Epstein situation was not an issue during the Biden administration.
Ooh, tough crowd. NBC News senior national politics reporter Jonathan Allen is with us now. Boos, yelling, jeers. John, walk us through what happened at this town hall.
Sounds like my kids when I walk in the walk in the door at home.
Oh man, stay away.
I mean, look, Congressman LaMalfa, one of the few Republicans actually willing to conduct sort of open town halls in any district in the country. There are going to be enough people who are upset with you to show up at a town hall and make your life miserable if you're a member of Congress. This is a practice that's been going on for about the last 15 years, dating back to 2010, the Tea Party summer that many folks may recall. But, you know, what we've got here is LaMalfa making arguments to his crowd that they don't believe, and I think we got a clip of that right here.
So this bill is not going to be the be-all, end-all on the whole Medicaid question. This had a portion that had to do with the fiscal under the budget reconciliation rules. And so it's not the end of the discussion. When we're talking about the people that really do need it and are eligible under the program, they're not being cut. And the hospital portion of it.
And I mean, you heard the bleep there. What LaMalfa is saying is he's pushing together a whole bunch of words that don't, I think, to that crowd make a whole lot of sense. Certainly none of them are familiar with reconciliation rules in the budget process. And, you know, the argument that this is not the be-all and end-all suggests that Republicans who just cut Medicaid would come back and add money to Medicaid later. And the crowd certainly wasn't buying.
To make clear to the people of Texas what's taking place, because it's unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. And as elected officials, we have that responsibility. That's not something we can just brush aside. There are 50 states in America. I'm here in Texas for a reason. Because these legislators are standing up these members of Congress are standing up and communicating to the people of Texas what's occurring right now in the middle of the summer at a special session. And we will make clear that we're going to do everything possible to support the Texas legislators as they consider the best ways to push back. It's an all-hands-on-deck moment, and all options should be on the table to protect the people of Texas. But Texas Democrats are going to be the ones to decide that. We will fight them politically. We will fight them governmentally. We will fight them in court. We will fight them in terms of winning the hearts and minds of the people of Texas and beyond. The Texas Democrats are going to show up and stand up and speak up for what's right for the people of Texas. And they're showing courage and conviction and character in doing that. And we'll see what happens over the next few days, over the next few weeks. But the one thing I know is clear, that Texas Democrats are fighting for the people.
My goodness gracious. Into the gutter we go, underwater we go. He's 25 points underwater. My goodness gracious. That is where the Little Mermaid is, and he is matching the Little Mermaid. That's how far underwater he is on the issue that got him elected. He led on by 9 points on it last year, and now he's 25 points underwater. As I said, this is a complete and total disaster for the President of the United States.
So let's look ahead to 2026 when a lot of all the House Republicans, some senators going to be on the ballot. How is that shaping up?
Yeah, if Republicans in Congress think that they can escape the wrath of the voters when it comes to inflation, I have a bit of a rude awakening for them. Trust which party more on inflation? You go back to the 2022 midterms, look at this. Republicans led by 13 points on which party was more trust on inflation. Look at where we are now. Nearly a 15-point shift in the Democrats' direction. It's within the margin of error, but the Democrats up by a point. This just looks totally different from where we were back in 2022 when, of course, Republicans took back the House. That's what Democrats are trying to do this time around, looking much better for them. The bottom line is the wrath that the voters feel for Donald Trump and inflation is transferring over to House Republicans and now Democrats, although it's a small lead, a big difference from where we were back in October of 2022, with Democrats actually in the positive and Republicans in the negative. Very much the reverse of where we were just 3 years ago.
Yeah, and so how do voters feel about inflation in terms of where it ranked, what kind of priority it is for them?
Right. So we started off this segment by saying that inflation was the reason that Donald Trump was elected. It was the most important issue for the voters back last year at this point. And look at where we are today. What is the top issue for you right now? It's a runaway. It's inflation. It's 34% compared to the economy, which is basically very similar at 16%, Medicare and Social Security at 14%. But the bottom line is voters in poll after poll after poll say that Donald Trump has taken his eye off the ball, off the big issue of the day, which is inflation. And that is why Donald Trump is way underwater on this issue. And it's why Democrats have caught up to Republicans on the all-important issue of inflation. I can guarantee you this, Jessica, if these numbers look right now like they do, or will look on Election Day 2026, there is no way on God's green earth that Republicans can hold on to the House of Representatives. These numbers, as I said, an abject disaster for Donald Trump and therefore Republicans.
I mean, I'm no Harry Enton, but 34 is
That's a big number.
More than double 16.
That is a very, very large number.
All right.
Donald Trump's been faking the job numbers. We know it. He's been caught. They've had to revise the job numbers down. They've had last month's job numbers were horrible. They're faking the GDP numbers. What now? This is Old Texas Paul. Hope your coffee's as good as mine. Well, I hope it's better. Well, we know why Jerome Powell, Donald Trump just lost his shit yesterday and was having a complete fit on social media about Jerome Powell. He's been complaining for a while, but yesterday it all came to a head, calling him too late and stuff like that. Yeah, the cat's out of the bag. They've been lying about the job numbers. They have. I've been saying it. If you watch Coffee with Texas Paul, I've been saying this for weeks now, that they're revising the old numbers down, that none of the professionals that do this for a living, ADP, et cetera, none of their numbers come even close to what the government's putting out. Yeah, we saw this coming. They're caught. And Donald Trump is in panic about it. He's in a complete, utter panic about it because it's a double whammy. And this is why Jerome Powell is right for not raising interest rates. Yeah, I can understand people thinking, well, if job numbers are falling, why didn't he lower the interest rates? Inflation is spiking. An interest rate cut won't immediately spur the economy, not for several months down the road. That just makes money cheaper. That will not immediately turn the economy around. That is a long-term fix. But what it will do immediately is spike inflation. Inflation is already spiking. You're talking about going from inflation to hyperinflation if Jerome Powell had done what Donald Trump wants. Fortunately, Jerome Powell knows what he's doing here. What does it mean for you? 6 months or so, if the pros take over and they stop doing stupid shit like tariffs, which are a problem on top of all of the rest of this, if the pros take over, you're talking about a 6-month period of what we call stagflation. You're going to get cost of living increases with a sorry economy, people losing their jobs. There were layoffs here in town. A couple hundred people got laid off here in town yesterday. That's going to happen. It'd be about a 6-month period of that. Then they can start ratcheting interest rates down. As the economy, the slowing economy will naturally bring prices down a little bit. As those prices start to fall and inflation no longer becomes a threat, they'll lower the interest rates and the economy over time will pick back up. But you've got to let the pros do their job. I'm telling you, electing Donald Trump was stupid. Elections have consequences.
The first question that I have is, should the files be released? And I believe, yes, the files should be released. I'm tired of the government saying that they want to release them. So please just do it. And the next question is, should Miss Maxwell be pardoned? No, Ghislaine Maxwell should not be pardoned. She was convicted of sex trafficking of children. This is a terrible crime.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Hey, hello, test, 1, 2, 3. Let's see, am I on? There we go, yeah, I am on. Alrighty, here we are, 11:25 a.m. in Pacific Time Zone, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. It is already 107 degrees outside. Full disclosure, I have not stepped outside yet, because I don't like stepping out into 107 degree heat. We're supposed to hit 112 today on this Wednesday, which may be 1 degree cooler than yesterday. They said it was going to start cooling today. I guess 1 degree at a time. Anyhow, thanks everyone for being here. Great to see you. We got 28 watching, 27 thumbs ups. We are at a slight deficit. As good Democrats, we need to correct that. And I do see Belfast Bob apparently was first in the chat. Don't know if Belfast Bob's still here because he said see you later. And I know Belfast Bob is all the way out there in Ireland. Sandy Foltz coming in right after that. Hello, Sandy. You got Aaron West here. Hey, Aaron. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for helping out. Michael Andrews is here. Hey, Michael. Good to see Michael in the chat room. User, otherwise known as William, is also here. Hello, William. Good to see you. Mad Mac, Slava Ukraini. Mad Mac, Slava Ukraini. I hope that the Ukrainians can sneak some people in with some drones somewhere in the Aleutian Islands or whatever, and shoot Putin's plane out of the sky. That's what I hope happens this week. Anyhow, a guy can dream, right? A guy can dream. Hi, Moms Russo is here. Hey, good to see Moms Russo. Thanks for being here in the chat. Now I know that some of these were posted quite a while ago, and I'm not sure who's still here and who's not here. We got Jolie here, so we are at full mod capacity. Thank you, Jolie, for being here. We got Jolie and Aaron helping out with the mod situation. Oh, the Fancy Factory. That would be fancy. Hey, I haven't seen Fancy in a while. Thanks for coming on in. Is that just? Oh, that's right. Because the names are messed up. Because I was wondering if that was a different channel or the same channel. But yeah, Fancy's here. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Mad Mac. I already said hi to Mad Mac. Josh is here. Hey, Josh. Hey, ladies. Josh is here. Josh had a 10-hour drive yesterday. So how was the drive, Josh? Did you get to, was it Savannah, New York or something like that? Apparently you got there safely because you're online today. So, but hopefully you had a good trip. Not too much, family hijinks in the car. You know what I mean? Like, hope everything went smooth on your trip. I can't believe I'm already out of my coffee. That's what happens when I have a long intro. I finished the coffee already. Let's see. Scrolling on down. I'm scrolling on down a little bit here to see who's here. Anna Moore. Hey, Anna Moore. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming on into the lounge. Hey, look at that. We got to, as good Democrats do, we are at a balanced budget. 31 watching, 31 thumbs ups. So, looky there. Look at there. Ain't that something? Ain't you guys, well, ain't you something? Wes is here. Wes Webb. Hello, Wes Webb. Good to see you. Can't wait to see some of your posts that I will get angry about and cuss at you about. It's the highlight of the show, I think. Let's see. Wes says, I'll do my blessing, but it didn't work yesterday. Oh, that's the $1.11. Yeah, there you go. There it is. I guess that's the blessing. Yippee, going out to Wes Webb. Thanks for that. Gave you a thumbs up and a heart as well for that $1.11 super chat. So we are 1/5 of the way to our goal on that one there. Mad Max says the Little Mermaid. Yeah, during that the intro there. That's showing that Trump is screwing up our economy. All this stuff is self-inflicted. He inherited a really good economy. It's going into the down the toilet. It's all self-inflicted by Trump and his stupid policies, his stupid tariffs. And as Texas Paul said, elections have consequences. We got to make sure 2026 we all get out and vote in such huge numbers, huge numbers. that whatever shenanigans and cheating and that Trump and the Russians try to do, that we can overcome it. VD Hertz says, Josh sees or looking from above down onto Sydney Sweeney. I think I might be mid-thread on that because I don't know what that's about. I must be mid-thread. I did kind of skip down a little bit. But good to see VD Hertz in here. Wes Webb is just talking to VD Hertz about money stuff, personal money and things. I don't care about that. VD Hertz says the most inflation in the numbers: child, infant care, formula, diapers. Yeah, young families are going to get hit really hard. As all of us are going to get hit hard with all this inflation and with the job losses and no new job creation. But yeah, young families are going to get really hit hard that need these things for their kids. It's expensive. It's already expensive trying to raise a family as it is, and then you have a clown like Trump get in office and just make it 100 times worse. 100 times more difficult. I've noticed since probably the election, I've been doing a lot of shaking my head. I'm constantly in shaking my head mode because I just can't believe it. I just can't believe that here we are. I just can't believe Donald fucking Trump got another term as president. It should not have even been close. I don't give a fuck about Biden dropping out and Kamala Harris and there was no primary and blah da da da. It should not have even been close. It's kind of like saying, okay, here's this one candidate and the situation, it wasn't perfect. We would have liked things to be better or different, or more normal or whatever. And then you have this other candidate who is literally just a pile of steaming shit. It's not even fucking close. And yet the pile of stinking shit won. Because there's a lot of stupid people who want, I don't know. I mean, they demand perfection on the one side, right? Oh, Kamala Harris wasn't perfect enough. Maybe she didn't address fucking Gaza or whatever good enough for them. But then they end up electing this steaming pile of shit who has nothing redeeming, zero redeeming qualities, zero accomplishments, zero, 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 zero. Donald Trump is a zero. So how can you demand perfection on the one side, but then you don't give a fuck about it on the other side? Don't let perfection be the enemy of the good, people. For Christ's sakes. Hey, Jen up the Base is here. I just skipped down a little bit. Let's see. Jen up the Base came in and said hi to Fancy. Damon Dog the Big Dog's here. Hello, Big Dog. Good to see you in here. Let's see. I'm kind of skipping down a little bit. Let's see what else is going on. I'm just cutting on down here. Roxanne, 1979, is here, saying hi to Fancy. VD Hertz says Leon Black paid $62.5 million to Epstein survivors in 2023. No one ever talks about this. Leon Black is Trump's MAGA buddy billionaire. Talk about it. thanks for bringing that up, because I don't think I've ever even heard of Leon Black. Maybe I did in some story and I glossed over it or something. But hey, thanks for bringing it up. That's why we have these forums. That's why we have these chats. So we can bring stuff up like that. Yeah, Leon Black. Part of the whole Epstein child trafficking, child pedophilia, and all that shit. Hey, Golf Marine's here. Hey, Golf Marine, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for popping on in. Golf Marine says, yo, people, I just found out yesterday that Yaz got traded. Oh, really? Yeah, the grandson of the great Carl Yastrzemski, right? He's a good ball player. I've always thought he was a pretty good ball player. He seemed, maybe, I don't know if he kind of fall off a little bit this year in his numbers and stuff. But where did he go? Who did he get? Inquiring minds want to know. I think it'd be kind of cool if he ended up playing for Boston. You'd have Yaz back in Boston. All right, I'm scrolling down a little bit here. Golf Marine, the most trite, meaningless, frothy lyrics ever penned. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're gonna make me blush with the kind words and compliments. Chris Doug is here. Keep on rocking the free world. Thank you, Chris Doug, for coming on in and giving us some Neil Young lyrics to ponder. Let me turn this up a little bit. Hopefully, I won't get too warm in here, but it's so loud. It's the loudest goddamn AC, man. I wish I had the AC that I had over at Siegel Suites, because that one was sweet. It made the entire apartment like a freaking walk-in refrigerator, and it was quiet. Sometimes it was so quiet I had to go over and see and check if it was running or not, and it was running. And it wasn't because I thought it was getting warm. It was. Sometimes I had to go shut it off or turn it up real high because it would get so cold in there. And you didn't even know it was running. This one here is fucking like a diesel goddamn truck or something. Anyhow, it's like a reefer rig going off. Big Doug, but it's a dry heat. Yeah, it's a dry heat. Believe me, if it was 107 and we had 100% humidity, just think how much worse it would be. I mean, it would be completely unbearable. People like to make fun of that dry heat thing, but I'd rather have dry heat than wet heat. Marie Jean Greco is here. Hello, Marie. Good to see Marie Jean Greco. And Marie says it got to 94 yesterday in Buffalo. That's pretty warm. I was watching the game highlights for the Padres Giants game, and it showed the temperature. I think at game time, the start of the game, which was in the evening, like around 6 or 7 in the evening. It was 63 degrees, and August 12th, it was 63 degrees at the Giants Stadium there in San Francisco. And I just thought, fucking San Francisco, man. You got to wear a sweater in fucking August, or a sweatshirt probably. But still, I think I would like that, actually. I'm skipping all of Wes Webb's comments about the victim, one of Jeffrey Epstein's victim. I think it's completely inappropriate of Wes Webb to be saying anything derogatory about that lady. She's very brave and courageous, and she's coming out. And all Wes wants to talk about is that they're explaining her and that her hair and makeup aren't to his liking. So screw you, Wes Webb. Oh, I guess Robert Perez is here. I must have skipped over Robert. Sorry about that. There he is, Robert Perez, otherwise known as Bob Perez. Says good afternoon. Good to see you from down San Diego way there, Robert Perez. Welcome to the Driver's Lounge. Yeah, Jennifer the Base is here. I think I already said hi to Jen. Didn't I already say hello? Luck Dragon's here. Hey, Luck Dragon. 2112. Good to see Luck Dragon and coming on in, hanging out with us for a bit. For a bit. Again, I'm skipping over Wes's comments. I think they're inappropriate. There's no reason to pick on that lady. She's been through enough, Wes. She doesn't need you fucking piling on. Someone's outside talking, so I had to look, but I can't see it because my blinds are open at an angle type of a thing, just to let some sunlight in. But I still can't. From where I'm sitting, I can't really see out. You can see a little bit of the bushes through the slats there. Alvin Stoops here. Hey, Alvin, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in and hanging out with us for however long you can. Big Dog, Damon Dog, the Big Dog says, okay, which one of you a-holes took my lighter? It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Roxanne says, Josh, driving in the rain gets old quick. I'm glad you made it. Driving all the way through is hard, but it has its advantages. Yeah, get you there quicker. You don't have to spend money on a hotel for at least one night or whatever. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Josh says, I calculated my 91 G20 van gets 15 miles per gallon cruising at 75 to 80 miles per hour. Well, that's a lot of gas, man. It's a lot of gas you're going to use. What if you dropped it down to 70? I wonder if your mileage would have gone up, like markedly so. Because I don't think you need to go 75 or 80. If you just dropped it down, put your cruise on 70. I know at first you might think, oh, I'm just crawling, man. I'm just crawling because you're used to going 85 or 80 or whatever. You said 80, but I bet you were going 85. Just stick your cruise control on 70 at 70. After a while, you'll get used to it, and I bet you'll see your MPG go up significantly. It might even go up to like 20 miles a gallon. Lug Dragon says, Jen, what did you cook for Rockstar last night? Inquiring minds want to know. Fancy's going on a coffee run. Be right back. I know. I think I need a coffee run. I already drank all my coffee. Wes Webb, services, dog grooming and walking, wedding dresses, for goodness sake, and anything made with metal. I guess I'm kind of mid-thread. I skipped so much of Wes Webb's nonsense that now I have no idea what he's talking about. Vita Hurd says, if Trump does a tariff rebate, expect a total collapse of USA dollar since the national debt is soaring at a record pace right now. He's going to break his own record. I think Trump already has the record for the increasing the debt. And he did that in one term. Now he's in the second term. I think he'll probably break that record. And those are the kind of records you don't want to see broken. You know what I mean? Goth Marine says, Trump administration. Epstein client list has been suicide sufficiently to satisfy the current administration. The client list has been suicided. Michael Gadget, the stinky shit got in the White House. Yeah. But I just find it's so odd how people are so picky, nitpicky, about fucking Kamala Harris, and then they don't give a shit about fucking Trump, and he has a billion flaws, Hey, Bill Deacon's here. Good to see Bill. Thanks for joining us in the old driver's house. Says good afternoon, and then the felon shouldn't have been able to run. Well, oh shoot, I forgot to get my water. I'm gonna go get my water because I am thirsty. So I'll be right back, guys. Let me grab my water. It's just right here on the counter. I just forgot to bring it over. Trump should have been in prison. Although he could have still ran for president from a prison cell, but I don't think I really don't think he would have gotten any votes, or not very many. He probably would have got some votes, but he should have been in a prison cell. Because otherwise you have to do a constitutional amendment, and good luck with that as far as changing the requirements for president. Roxanne 79 says, "Look, Dragon, I could answer that." When the question earlier was, "What did Jen make Roxanne for dinner?" I guess Roxanne says some amazing fried shrimp with homemade hot honey, and thin cut homemade fries, and cabbage bacon, whatever that is, and pineapple slaw. It was banging, as the kids say. Homemade cocktail and tartar sauces too. So, Jen, what are you, some kind of freaking chef or something? No wonder you're a donut snob. I take it all back. If you're like a chef or chef level cook, then I can understand you being a snob when it comes to donuts and shit. So I take it all back. I take it all back. I'm glad you enjoyed your dinner, Roxanne. It sounds like it was a great dinner. Josh says from zero to Nero. Jolie says, I can't believe how much damage Trump has done in such a short amount of time. I don't know how the country can sustain another 3.5 years of this. I don't either. But that's why hopefully we can make it to the 2026 midterms. And if we get back the House, at least get the House, then I think we can stop him. And really make him the lame duck that he is. Big dog, Damon Dog, the big dog, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Yippee! Going out to Big Dog again. I gave you a thumbs up and a heart there. Says all my bills are paid this month. Here's what's left. Ah, yeah, that's what it seems like, huh? You're lucky to have even that much left compared to some of it. Wes Webb Nero was said to be an excellent cellist, but good for him. Big Dog says my SS check comes on the second Wednesday. Everyone is thanking Big Dog for that super chat, as well you should. Thanks so much, both to Wes Webb there and to Big Dog for contributing to the show. I do appreciate it. VD Hurt says look it up. I got a little myth thread. I'm not sure that was about the CO2 stuff or I don't know, you were talking about emission stuff, or if it's about the Epstein stuff. I don't know. I kind of skipped down some of the chats, and now I'm sort of needle dropping, so I'm not exactly sure. But whatever VD Hertz put down there and says look it up, I think you guys should look it up. VD Hertz, very knowledgeable person. I've grown to sort of trust VD Hertz over the time. Some people say shit, and you're like, oh yeah, right. Like Wes Webb, it's like, yeah, whatever, dude. But VD Hertz is pretty reliable on stuff here. Golf Marine, how dead is Las Vegas right now? You know what? Confession time. I haven't even gone driving in the last few nights. It's been way too hot. I don't feel like even going outside to get on the bus. But I am going to go to work tonight because Monday and Tuesday are usually dead anyhow, or slow, even without this slowdown we got going. But I could tell you, I've been noticing a gradual slowing for about 3 months, and it's been getting worse and worse and worse as time has gone by. Now I'm going to go out tonight because I plan on working Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and each one of those nights, theoretically, anyhow, it should pick up in business as we get into the weekend and everything. So my plan is to work Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then maybe Sunday if I feel like it. So I haven't been to work these last few nights, but last couple nights. But overall, it's been definitely down. It's been noticeably down as far as foot traffic and seeing people. But as far as my job is concerned, it really hasn't affected me because there's still the same. I still get the same amount of rides that because there's still lots of people here. If tourism is down by 15%, 13, 14, 15%, that's a big concern for the corporate bean counters and because that translates into who knows how many millions and tens of millions or maybe hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't even know because I do know this is a multi-billion-dollar industry here in Vegas, the casinos. So a 10% drop, that could be hundreds of millions, or at least tens of millions of dollars, 10, 12, 13%. So, but as far as my volume of how many rides I do, that has not been affected at all. So far it hasn't affected me. So I'm wondering at what point, at some point I suppose it would. Maybe I'm sure if there was like a 50% drop, let's say in tourism here, that would affect me. Probably even if we got to 25%, I would probably affect me. But right now, it has not affected my numbers at all. Even though it's noticeably, I can see there's less people walking around, there's less people driving around, and all that. But as far as me getting rides, it hasn't affected it at all. Anamore says voters believe the rhetoric of a racist and voted against their own interests and freedoms. Wow. Yeah, racism won, huh? Racism won out. Big Dog says these window units I bought are really loud too. Still waiting on my big unit to get fixed. All right. Hope your big unit gets fixed. Roxanne says, "Yeah, I got a super yummy birthday cake, chocolate ganache. Is that how you say it? Layer cake. I got half a cake left over. I'm about to have a slice. Nice. I love chocolate. It's my favorite. Chocolate cake, chocolate, anything is my favorite. Anything. Nick Rich is here. Hey, good to see Nick Rich. Like number 34, 11:40 a.m. in Vegas. So I am about 16 minutes behind you. 38 watching, 37 thumbs up. So we are operating at a slight deficit. Let's correct that. We are good Democrats. We like to be at least a balanced budget, if not a surplus. So let's get that remedied, if we could. Roxanne said it's not. I didn't say Candlestick Park, did I? Did I say Candlestick Park? I didn't say. If I did, I know that's not Candlestick Park. I thought I just said the Giants game in San Francisco. It was 63 degrees. I don't remember saying Candlestick Park. Roxanne, sweatshirt in August. Yeah. If you went to the game last night in San Francisco, you better have been packing a sweatshirt. Because at the start of the game, it was 63. I don't know what it was at the end of the game. It was probably like 50 and windy or something. At Candlestick Park. Not really. I know that's not Candlestick Park. Gulf Arena, it's sheer jealousy about our Bay Area weather. I'm convinced excessive. Like I said, I don't think I would mind it. Actually, I don't think I would mind that weather. Dion Payne's here. Hey, Dion, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the driver's lounge. They say September 3rd, 2025. Representative Ro Khanna and Representative Thomas Massie will be holding a press conference at the Capitol at 10:30 a.m. for the survivors of Epstein, Maxwell, and Trump. So please mark your calendars and set a reminder. So that's on the 25th of September, and it's going to be a conference at the Capitol about the survivors of Epstein, Maxwell, and Trump. All right, thanks for pointing that out. Remind us again, Dion, if you wouldn't mind, as we get closer to that. And I believe September 25th is also the date when that court proceeding is supposed to happen in upstate New York about the cheating or the voting irregularities in the 2024 election. At least of that area or that district there, up there by Golly. Golf Marine Heat says heat is responsible for much unhappiness. Yeah, heat can make you miserable and hot and angry if it's really hot. West Webb, she is not here, John. Who is she? Who's the she you're talking about? I have no idea who you're talking about. Fancy's back. Coffee? I hope your coffee is very yummy. I'm on water now. But my water is nice and cold and refreshing. West Webb, I'm sorry, Deanne, but I don't like exploitation for political reasons, especially. This isn't exploitation. This is about getting information out. And you, West Webb, are probably one of the people that cry and complain the most about feeling ignored. You're always talking about how the Democrats aren't listening to you, Wes Webb, and how they just ignore you and they don't care about you. And then when someone tries to actually do something and get information out, then you cry about that. There's just no winning with you, Wes Webb. There's no winning with you. You're a lot like that Chad motherfucker over in Liberal Dan's chat room. Nick Rich says this at shit is annoying. I don't know. I don't find it that annoying, but I wish they would fix it. But I don't really find it that annoying. Look, Dragon, I am the light. What you seek is fire? Okay. Seems like a bit of a non sequitur there, but whatever. Big Dog says, I was shocked my truck got 28 mpg on my last road trip. How fast were you going? I'm just curious, because I think that makes a big difference. If you're scooting along at 80, 85, of course you're going to suck up gas. And I do think just knocking it down to 70 could make all the difference in the world. And you just got to get used to it. It takes about probably a half an hour and you're used to it. Because I know we get so used to just pedal to the metal and going 85, 90, 95, and after a while, anything under that, it seems like you're crawling. But believe me, set your cruise at 70, and you'll get used to it, and you still are going to get to your destination. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes later than you would have normally. And you might save a whole bunch of gas and money. Golf Marina says, I'm getting pet therapy from my staff therapist as prescribed for blood pressure. I don't even know what that means. I guess it means I don't even know. I don't know what it means. I don't know what pet therapy is. You're petting someone's tail? Nick Rich says the cruise control on my e-scooter is limited to 22 miles per hour. Goes 45 on a charge. 45 miles on a charge. Wes Webb says, buy them now. Cars especially, they say, will soon be unaffordable. I think everything's going to be unaffordable pretty soon. Luck Dragon says the main reason they changed the law to 55 miles per hour was gas efficiency. It wasn't for safety. Yeah, that's right. It was during the first big oil embargoes and the oil crisis and shit. VD Hertz says corporate income taxes are falling because tariffs are eating up much of the profits. Tariffs are no free lunch. Big Dog says, I'm seriously thinking of getting an e-bike. A-Pass brand M2 looks pretty cool for under $1,000. Yeah, that's good. If you get it for under $1,000, yeah. I've been thinking about getting one too. Chris Doug says when Rump and Pukin finally meet, we will be able to see the puppet strings Vlad pulls to make Cheeto Wig's mouth move. I'm wondering if they're going to have a private meeting with no, like stenographer or note keeper for Trump again, like before. Wes Webb's looking for new computers. This won't do the Windows 11 upgrade. Nick Rich, the looks on people's faces when they see this white bearded dude on an like an e-bike. There's this YouTube guy he's in Vegas. He's on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have seen him. I think it's called The Other Me, and he does a lot of Vegas, like Fremont Street stuff. But he does a lot of like electric scooters, and e-bike reviews, and he does really a good job. He takes them out. His videos are really well made, and he takes them out, and he gets he finds he tests the range, he tests how fast they'll go, and he says that he weighs well over 300 pounds. I think like way heavier than me, because I think I'm right around 300. I don't know. But the guy does these videos. I think he's like 390 or 350 or something like that. And I'm not passing judgment. That's what he says that he weighs, and you can tell he's a heavy set guy. And so I like to watch his videos because I like to see what brands can carry that kind of weight. Because if I do get one, I need one that's going to be able to carry at least 300 pounds. But if you check him out, The Other Me on YouTube. If you want to, see some good e-bike and electric scooter videos, he's a good one. He does a really good job, I think, of testing them out and showing how he did it. And he does a lot of different brands and everything. So yeah, I recommend The Other Me. I believe that's what it's called. The name of his channel. Roxanne 79 says, Golf Marine, does that mean you're getting a therapy dog? Yeah, can we just say therapy dog? Do we have to say tail petting thing or whatever? Because I'm thinking like, are you petting? You're petting the tail, or is the tail petting you? I don't know. Nick Rich says, I uploaded a scooter vid for my 37 subs, AI music included via Suno. Oh, so you made a video. Is that what you're trying to say, Nick? Sometimes you guys. Okay, so Nick, I'll check out. I would like to check out your video. Absolutely, if that's what you did. David Weiss. Tickets. Hello from Denver, Colorado. Hello, David. Good to see you. Thanks from Denver. I'm pretty sure you were in the other day from Denver, and so thanks for coming back. I do appreciate you coming on in and hanging out with us for a little bit. Wes Webb, yes. Stifle Dirty Donnie. Stifle yourself, Edith. Eat it. Edith. Stifle yourself. Anna Moore says, pineapple slaw sounds delicious. You had me at pineapple, because I like pineapple. I don't like slaw, but if you're making a pineapple slaw, it might make it a little more edible, I guess. I really don't like coleslaw. Although I have had some, if it's made really good, I've had some coleslaw that I was able to, at least eat while I was waiting for my steak to come or whatever, Big Dog, I just subbed, Nick. Yeah, I'm gonna look for you, Nick. I'm gonna sub to you if I don't already, and I want to watch your videos. Faux show. We should all subscribe to Nick and check him out. Aaron West has a meeting in 5 minutes. Josh says, TJ, is your taxi job W-2 or 1099? It's W-2. I'm a company man. I'm not an IC. The fancy says, "Why did you turn off the comments, Rich?" Oh, to Rich. Okay. Nick Rich, 11:56. I'm about 14 minutes behind. Just so you know, if you guys are like, "Why is he talking about something that we said a long time ago?" It's because I'm behind. I'm just trying to. I'm reading your stuff here. Fancy says it's 78 degrees down there in LA. Beautiful LA. It's always makes me jealous when Fancy gives me the weather down there. Chris Duck, 3 p.m. and 89 degrees in New Jersey. In Jersey? You from Jersey? I'm from Jersey. You from Jersey? I'm from Jersey. Trump Whopper, 1984. 08 Trump Whopper, 1984. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Says, I don't feel tardy. What's the teacher going to look like this year? Mad Max says, so Ghislaine gets to leave her country club prison daily now for a work release program. Holy fucking hell. She's got the same exact deal that they gave to fucking Epstein in Florida. When he was in Florida, she's getting the same. Well, actually, his might have been even more liberal or whatever, but still, she's getting the same kind of sweetheart deal, man. It's pretty sickening. It's pretty damn sickening. Josh says, Mad Mac, they need to replace the immigrant drives. Roxanne, look at the mouth on Roxanne. It says, country club. Fuck that cunty pedophile mother traffic fucking B. Ghislaine and her plushy deal with Dinky. Criminal United. Roxanne. Yeah, don't hold back. Other than that, she has no opinion. But very well said. Very well said, Roxanne. And I agree with every word of it. I agree wholeheartedly. Chris Doug says, fantasy mode. Putin's plane has to make an emergency landing in Canada, and he is arrested by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and turned over to Interpol. That would be awesome. Either that or Ukrainian SEAL team is able to get over somewhere, in between Alaska and Russia and send one of their drones up and knock his plane out of the sky. I kind of like that one too. Mad Max says Ghislaine's job should be cleaning the toilets with her toothbrush, for fuck's sake. Yeah. Hey, Alton Gillespie's here. Good to see you, Alton. Thanks for coming on in. It says, howdy bravely from Paradise, TJ and all truckers. Well, thanks for being here, Alton. I do appreciate you coming on in and hanging out. Search for you. I need to hear about the speed thing. I drive too fast and my gas mileage isn't great. Well, the faster you drive, the more gas you're going to use. For the most part. So if you want to save on gas, knock it down a little bit. Knock that speed down a little bit. Whoops. Big dog. I was doing average 70 miles an hour. Drive 65. Trump Whoppers 1984. JD Vance says JD Vance colon. Look, boss, it's the plane, boss, the plane. I just saw the clip, some clips of the South Park. I haven't seen the whole episode. I've just seen clips of it. It looked pretty funny. Roxanne says, "Big dog, I drive fast too." Jen doesn't like it. Oh, all you women drive fast. I haven't ever known a woman that doesn't have a fucking lead foot. All y'all, you drive like fucking crazy bats out of hell, man. All y'all. Just ask Jolie. She'll even admit it. She proudly will admit that she's a lead foot. I bet you. Nick Rich, my scooter will take 300 pounds according to the manual. That means I can transport over 100 pounds plus me. Well, aren't you the svelte one? I would love to be 200 pounds. If I weighed 200 pounds, you guys would probably think I'm anorexic. Well, you would probably think, oh my God, what happened to John? Like, not in a good way. But I would still love to be 200 pounds. I don't know, but like that one video that I showed the other day when I was young and at the post office. I weighed about. Let's see, when did I make that? I think I weighed probably about 190, 195. Yeah, that was a good weight for me. Although I might have been over 200 because, like I said, I could carry weight a little bit. I could carry a little extra weight and not look that heavy. I'm just trying to remember. That was in 1989. 89. I was probably about 195 or 200 around that. If you guys remember, a lot of you probably didn't even see the tape, so you don't even know what I'm talking about. But those of you that did see it, so I would love to be back around 200. Nick Rich, tip number 1: don't classify your videos for kids. Yeah, if you do that, you can't do the comments, right? Oh, Gillespie, the only thing you can F up with pineapple is pizza. Wrong, Alton. I love Hawaiian style, the Hawaiian pizza. I love pineapple with Canadian bacon or with ham on a pizza. I have nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's one of my favorite pizza toppings. So Alton, you are wrong, sir. Hey, I know it's all subjective. We all have our own taste, but you know. Golf Marine, has your cat ever laid down next to you and started petting you with her tail? No, you're missing out on life. I don't have a cat, so. Oh, there's the Nick Rich link Jolie has, so you can click on it, and you can. Oh, I am subscribed already to Nick, so I'm already subscribed, and Nick's got his videos there, and I will check that out later. Because right now I'm trying to do this here show, this really big shoe. Really big shoe. Now I'm trying to go back to where I left off. Oh yeah. Yeah, so guys, make sure you go in there and give Nick a subscribe and check out his videos. Trump Whopper 1984. You can fry my vegetarian pizza with pineapple from my cold dead hand. Roxanne, I like pineapple on pizza. It's nice to have a little sweetness to it. Yeah, I love. It does kind of irritate me when people say like stuff like, you can't have pineapple on pizza. You can have whatever the fuck you want on pizza, man. It's a free country. Hey, Liberal Dan Radio. Speaking of Liberal Dan, I think I was speaking of Liberal Dan. I was speaking of Liberal Dan earlier because I mentioned Chad. Hey, Liberal Dan Radio. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. You guys, Liberal Dan Radio, for those of you who don't know, best show on the internet. Usually comes on Mondays, Wednesdays at 8 o'clock Central time. So adjust accordingly to your time zones. Check them out. I believe Liberal Dan should be on tonight at 8 p.m. Central. So give Liberal Dan a check out. Check out his show. His really big show. I do highly recommend the Liberal Dan Radio show. Golf Marine says, that joke where the punchline is, well, the other guy is picking pineapples. I don't know if I remember that one, actually. I probably have heard it if I heard the whole joke. I bet you Liberal Dan's heard it, because Liberal Dan knows a lot of jokes. Chris Doug says Rasputin was poisoned, stabbed, shot, strangled, and tossed in a river. Fucker would not go. Yeah, Liberal Dan in the house. Liberal Dan Radio show. Liberal Dan, why am I seeing usernames and not display names? That's been going on for the last few days on my channel, and I think it was on Blossom Brian's channel and on other people's channel. Sometimes it happens, and then eventually they correct it. But there's nothing I can do on my end, as far as I know. I think it's just a YouTube glitch, and hopefully they will correct it at some point. But this has happened before, and it just took a few days for it to revert back. Liberal Dan, I can't hear too much because I got to keep it low at the doctor for a follow-up. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Liberal Dan's got some stuff going on there, and hopefully all is well at the doctor's office there. Cindy folks, why are you so late on here? I don't know who you're talking to. I've been on for an hour and 16 minutes now, so I don't know if you're talking to me. You're talking to me? I don't know if you're talking to me or who, but I've been on for an hour and 16 minutes. Roxanne, TJ, I don't like coleslaw either. Yeah, I'm not a big coleslaw fan. Although, like I said, there's a few restaurants, maybe one or two, probably two, where I've eaten the coleslaw, and it was actually kind of good, or at least edible. Other than that, ugh. MJ Daniel from up there in Washington State says people here are really bad drivers, but still not as bad as they were when I was in Arizona. People always say, yeah, this place is bad, that place is bad. I think there's no place where you go, boy, the drivers are really good here. There's just so many bad drivers everywhere. Everywhere you go. All across the country. I think it's pretty much the same all across the country. Equally bad all across the country. Trump Whopper 1984 says, when you realize that Trump is inflicting maximum chaos. Oh my God. What the fuck was that? Did you guys hear that? I don't know what that was. Something fell. I'm looking around. I'm like, what the hell was that? It scared the shit out of me. Something fell in the bathroom. I don't even know. I don't even want to look. I don't even want to think about it. And somewhere over there, something fell. Ah, my goodness. Got a taste of the vapors. Anyhow, yeah, so Trump was saying that Trump is the maximum chaos in order to sink us into a depression and martial law so he can rule forever. Then it all makes sense. The rest is just icing on the cake. That's a theory. I've heard the theory bandied about, and I'm not saying that it's not out of order. You know, I'm not saying that is crazy. I'm not saying that's crazy talk. You're not going to hear me say that's crazy talk. Libertarian Radio says, Kevin, what did I miss about jizz sluts? Oh my. Oh my. I don't know. I think Wes was talking a lot of shit and trying to. I don't know. He was sort of. I think it was Wes was talking shit about the ladies that were coming out against Epstein and trying to make it like they got a lot of money and all this kind of shit. I kind of just glossed over it because I just don't want to start yelling, already. So. Sandy Folds says KFC has the best coleslaw. Well, I don't know about that, but I've been to some like really nice restaurants that had some edible coleslaw. But okay, so first Ghislaine we were talking about how she got the sweetheart deal, and how fucked up that is. She's getting this really sweetheart deal, getting a work release, and she's in minimum security and all this kind of shit. But she should be locked up in Supermax for the rest of her life, as far as I'm concerned. Julie, I fly like the wind. Yeah. Oh, I bet you do, Julie. I remember we talked about how you're a hot rodder. Hot rodding around when you were younger, and that you had the Camaro, right? MJ Daniel says it seems like everybody around here drives at least 15 miles over. Many go much faster. Liberdan says, unfortunately, people down here go 40 and 20s and 20s and 35s. Sandy Fulch, you're an hour and 20 minutes behind. I don't think so. I think maybe you might be behind. I don't know. Search for you. I just don't want a ticket. Yeah, me either. I don't want a ticket either. So I try to not go too much over the speed limit, actually. MJ Daniel, my ideal weight should be around 220 or so, like when I was in the 80s. I'm a good 220 is a good weight for me. If I was playing football, like my playing weight was 225, and I would usually in the off season I would usually kind of balloon up to like 230, 240, and then I would go in, and that was with training. I was weight training. I was and then as we got closer to spring football, I was of course running, putting a lot of running miles in. I would still get up to 230, 235. Like in high school and in college, like 240, 245. But then during football, once I went through Hell Week, by the time I'm in the first game of the season, or even in our first week in pads, I'd be down at 230, 225. So by the time the season started, I was at 225, and I knew that 225 was perfect for me. I just felt good. I felt sleek. I felt faster, even though I wasn't the fastest guy in the world. But for me, I just felt like I was moving good, moving quick off the line, had good, lateral movement along the line of scrimmage. I just felt really good at 225. That was always kind of my goal, to once we got into training camp and Hell Week and everything, I wanted to be at 225 by like just prior to the first game of the season. And that was always my playing weight. I would just pretty much maintain that through the whole season, 225. And I was just a D lineman. I was 6 foot tall, 225, playing D line. And even in high school, there was most guys were bigger than me. And then when I got in college, almost every defensive tackle I went against was 6'5", 320. They'd have about 100 pounds on me and about 5 inches of height. But I learned how to play. It made you learn how to play, and I actually, was kind of decent. I was an okay player. Could have been better, I think, but for being my size and playing the position I played, I think I did okay. Sandy Falls says it was raining in Niagara Falls. Now it's sunny out. So the storm has gone away. The rain has gone away, and now it's nice and sunny. Liberal Dan Music says, I think the last time I was 220 was 30 years ago. Probably me too. It's probably been that long for me too. Or maybe longer, yeah. Not about 30, probably about 30 years ago. But I think I could do it. I think I can do it. Alton Gillespie, then it ate pizza. It's candy. Laughing out loud. Come on, man. Not everything is just a greasy pepperoni pizza New York style. Okay? There's more to pizza than that. And believe me, I love my New York style greasy pepperoni pizza as much as the next guy. Or even just a greasy, cheesy New York style. I love that as much as the next guy. Believe me. That doesn't mean I don't like, all the myriad of different flavors and toppings that all these different restaurants put together. There's some very good ones. And that doesn't mean that I don't like Chicago style. That doesn't mean I don't like a deep dish style. I like a deep dish. That's the thing about me. I don't lock into one thing. I can like many different type of things. They're not mutually exclusive. In other words. Aaron West is back. Thanks for coming on back. Big Dog says I weighed 220 when I got out of the Army in 84. I'd love to be that weight again. There's a lot of us I think that would love to be 220 again. I would love to be 220 again. I'm going to go. I want to get that. Now, I said this before. I want to go on Ozempic. And then somebody said there was some other product that was supposed to be better. And I forget the name of it now. So if anybody remembers the name of that other one, let me know. Julie's got Liberal Dan's link to the Liberal Dan show there. And I believe, Liberal Dan, you are coming on tonight, right? At 8 p.m. Central. Hey, glad to see John Glad. John Glad's here again. Thanks for coming on in, hanging out with us for a bit. Dick Rich, 20 past the hour, so I'm 13 minutes behind. Sandy Foltz, I'm only 13 minutes behind. Kimchi! Hey, beautiful goddess Kimchi is here. Good to see you. Says, hi, beautiful progressives. Hugs, Jolie, TJ, and Aaron. Well, hugs right back at you. We're all giving a group hug. Marie Jean Greco says, just sub to Nick Rich. Awesome. Awesome. Christina Weibel's here. Hey, Christina. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. I do appreciate you. Big Dog says, Fancy, you're absolutely right. I got to go back to keto and cut all these carbs. Yeah, that's the best way. I did the, what do they call it? Miami diet or whatever it was called. That was quite a while ago. That might have been about 30 years ago. I remember I dropped like 30 pounds in like 6 weeks. What was it called? The Miami Beach diet or whatever it's called. That's all keto, that's all keto, whatever it's called. Hey, Richard, expat American watching from Australia, 5:23 a.m. Bright and early for you there. Thanks, Richard, for coming on in and hanging out with us. All the way from down under. From down under. Kim She says, still on my back, loopy on muscle relaxers. Sometimes a back injury can take sometimes forever. Forever. So, yeah, I hope you get well soon. But I've had times where my back went out and I was out for like 6 weeks, or something. And literally just kind of on my back for 6 weeks. So I hope you don't have that long of a deal going on. Josh says, I like coleslaw as a topping on a burger or sandwich. I hate coleslaw. But I could see that, on a burger. It might be good. Chris Doug says, Richard, where you at? I've been to Cairns, Brisbane, Noosa, Sydney, and Alice. Big Dog, we have 2 different kinds of slaw, red or white. Red is vinegar and tomato, and white is mayonnaise slaw. Oh, the slaw lovers are checking in. I can see that. All you slaw lovers. All right. All right. Big Dog, I heard it. It's that goddamn haunted table. Yeah. Chris, look, they're shooting. Nick Rich says the noise sounded like a body falling over. Oh, you guys are funny. Surfy, light bulb blew out. I don't think so. I don't know. I'll go look in a little bit here. But you guys heard that, I guess, apparently. Fancy, is your door locked? Yeah, it is locked. And I do check it a lot of times because one time, apparently, I forgot to lock it. This one time when I checked it, I was like, wow. Can't believe I didn't lock it. Alton Gillespie says, sounded like a rat trap. You need to go check. Well, I don't have any rat traps or mouse traps set up, so it could have been that. Kimchi says, Nick, TJ has no skeletons in his closet. Marie Jean Greco says, speaking of drivers, does anyone know what to do at stop signs anymore? Good Lord, I'm going to die at a 4-way stop. I swear, idiots. Yeah. They don't know. It's supposed to be like who goes next. It's like in a clockwise manner. So, like, if everyone came to the stop at the same time, then, well, someone's going to be first. Then that person goes, and then the next one, it would be, is it counterclockwise? Oh, man, I just shot myself in the foot. I think it's counterclockwise. Let's see. Aaron West, no one stops to make a right turn anymore. I do. Richard says Trump and Epstein are like 2 peas in a pod. Yeah, they sure are. Kevin Anderson, who I believe is 007. So Liberdan Radio, I said we call her Jizz Lane, so she should be cleaning up every inmate's piss. Or jizz. Someone else says she should be cleaning toilets with her toothbrush. I agree with both of those. Richard says, yes, Roswell UFO incident. Maybe I am an alien. Did you ever watch that show Roswell, the TV show a few years ago about the kids that were in pods or something? I thought that was a pretty good show. And they had powers. They had like, do you have any powers, Richard? Maybe, maybe you do, and you just never discovered them. Oh, I guess Nick is taking off. We've got lots of stuff to do. Well, yeah, thanks, Nick, for being here. You're probably gone by now, as I know I'm like 13 minutes behind. But just know that I said thanks for being here, and hope to see you on the next one, on the next Trucker John show. Chris Doug says, MJ, we have those damn roundabouts all over New Jersey. Annoying and dangerous since people do not know how to handle them. But when people do know how to handle them, it does help with the flow of traffic flowing. It keeps the flow of traffic going, rather than having a stop sign or a stoplight where traffic could just back up. David Weiss says, 2.5 years ago, I hit 270 at 5'9". Pre-diabetes, I got more active, walking 3 miles a day minimum. April, my doctor told me I was in the normal zone for AC1, 185 pounds, plus or minus, now 69 years old. That is awesome, David. That is so awesome. Going from 270 down to 185 in 2.5 years by walking a minimum of 3 miles a day. That is inspirational. That really is. And congratulations on getting your AC1 to normal levels. I think, David Weiss, you deserve a round of applause. I salute you. I need to walk more. I need to walk more, for sure. Fancy says, I wish we got some rain here. Yeah, SoCal is always needing some rain. Josh says, I like roundabouts more than the drivers that don't. MJ Daniel says, only sports I did was ski and my dirt bike, but I rode my bicycle everywhere and did a lot of outdoor stuff back in my teens and 20s. Hey, man, that sounds like fun, too. You know, whatever, floats your boat, man. I think dirt biking and bicycle riding, all that, that's being outdoors is wonderful. Wonderful, good stuff. It's fun, you know. It's fun stuff. Search for you, deep dish takes too long. Doesn't mean I don't like it. Doesn't mean that I can't like both deep dish and a New York style thin pizza. Fancy says, what happened to Trostler? Well, the reason it's not showing up is because of the YouTube glitch here with showing the @ names instead of the profile name or whatever. Aaron West says, I flew past 220 on my way down. I'm so happy to share my progress with my doctor on Monday. Awesome. Keep it going, Aaron. You keep going. Doing good. You're doing good. Big Dog says, I have an Ozempic 2 milligram, I guess, injection once a week. Wow. So, what's your progress? Are you seeing progress on that? Because I would like to. I would like to try that. Oh, Gillespie says anchovy is the usual deal breaker on pizza. I love me some hairy fishes. I've tried anchovies. I don't think they're bad. I mean, like I said, I've tried it once or twice. That's enough. Okay, yeah, it wasn't really that bad like I thought it would be. Chris Doug says all summer I have not been able to get below 200 pounds, even though I did an 11-mile hike last week. Well, it's going to take more than one hike, I guess. It's all about over a certain amount of time operating on calorie deficits, daily caloric deficits. That's what makes you lose weight. It's really as simple as that. Fancy says, all this talk about dieting is making me hungry. Richard, Trucker John, who's your favorite baseball team? It's the Dodgers. Everyone should know that by now. It's the Dodgers, man. Kevin Anderson, the Fancy Factory, that's my... Oh, yeah, talking to Fancy. That's my username, of course, and some sites like this, YouTube, loves fucking around with it. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I have nothing to do with it. Like I said, this happens every now and then, and I think it's just a YouTube thing, and hopefully they'll get it all cleared up within a few days or something. But the base Richard TJ loves some San Francisco Giants. Jim the base, come on, man, that's cold. That's cold blooded, man. To put TJ loves and San Francisco Giants in the same sentence, that's cold blooded, man. Richard, San Francisco Giants at Candlestick Park. Aaron says, who knows what a body falling over sounds like? Yeah. So how would you guys know what that sounded like? Circuit breaker. It looks like all the power is still on, so I don't know. Kimchi says, I briefly wondered how my thunder streamed through your phone. It was a loud noise. Big Dog says, my favorite picture is Greg Maddux. That man could paint a box. He was a good one. Greg Maddux, for sure. Kimchi, now she has work release sickening, talking about Ghislaine, Jizzface. I just call her Jizzface. Old Jizzface there. Richard, Sandy Koufax of the LA Dodgers have the best curveball ever. I've heard that before from someone. Christina Weibel says, the golden toilets are calling you, Ghislaine, at Mar-a-Lago. Sandy Folds, TJ, does the building you live in allow pets? Yes, it does allow pets. You have to put up like a $300 deposit or something, and plus I think they charge like just extra every month. Besides that, it's something outrageous. Outrageous. Dion Payne, has anyone seen the new Final Destination? And if so, what did you think? I have not seen it. I have not. I would like to go see F1 while it's still in the theaters. I think it's still in the theaters. I actually heard it was really good. I'd like to see F1. I already saw Superman. The Fantastic Four movie I heard kind of sucks. What else is out? I've been hearing about Weapons, but I have no idea what that's about. I heard actually that the Freaky Friday 2 or whatever it's called. I've actually heard that that's really good. So I didn't think I would even check that out, but maybe I will. Let's see. David Weiss says, "Thanks, Trucker John. Back to alpine skiing too. Awesome. See, I at my weight and everything, I don't think I used to ski. I used to downhill ski, and I don't think I could even do that now. But if I get down to my playing weight, maybe I could. Even at my old age, 'cause I haven't skied in 20 years probably." Sunny Folds, TJ, if you want to lose weight, you need to eat more healthy. No, I need to burn more calories than I consume. That's how you lose weight. Roxanne, 1979. I only watch comedy, documentaries, or music. Lots of comedy animations. I don't restrict myself to only certain things. I just watch whatever looks interesting to me. So I don't limit it to just one or two genres. Just if it looks good, I'll watch it. Sunny Folds, it's 3:45. Out here, you came on at 3:15 Niagara time. I don't know what time. I don't know about that. All I know is I've been on for an hour and 47 minutes. I started the intro at about 11:05 my time, which would be 2:05 your time. So you, maybe on whatever device you're watching, that's when you started watching. But for Niagara Falls, 11:05 would be 2:05. Is when I started on the East Coast. That's East Coast time zone, Eastern time zone, or whatever. That's when I started the show. Big Dog says progress on Ozempic was good in the beginning when I was also eating keto, but I went back to carb-filled foods and I've stalled out. And A1C jumped back up to 6.6, so I'm back on carb restriction. Yeah, stay on the keto for, I think you can stay on that for a good 3 months at a time, I think. Sunny Folks says, TJ, do you like mashed potatoes? Yeah, of course. Who doesn't like mashed potatoes and gravy? Chris Doug, my A1C is 6.2. Kimchi says, Christina, very special occasion. My 22-year-old daughter and my friend of 15 years were entertained. They never saw me drink, much less get drunk. Sandy Foltz, I make the best homemade stuffing. I bet you do. Big Dog, yeah, the new Jurassic Park movie that came out earlier in the summer. That did really well at the box office. I don't know what the reviews were. I don't remember that, but I know it did. It's done very well at the box office. Roxanne 79 says, I want to see Josh Johnson on tour. I don't know who Josh Johnson is. Jolie says, the last time I got drunk was 5 days ago. And when's the last time I got drunk? I haven't got drunk in a long time. It's been so long since I got drunk. I can't remember. I've had a few beers and a few drinks here and there, but I haven't really got drunk. I just don't do it, I guess. Aaron West says $250 pet fee plus $35 a month pet rent at my new place. That's similar to here. I think ours is $300 pet fee, and then it might be another 35 or something like that, or maybe it's 50. I don't know. It's in my lease agreement. I didn't pay too much attention to it because I wasn't really planning on having a pet, but they kind of when they said $300 deposit, that kind of like I kind of just was like, well, I guess I'm not having any pets. Kimchi pet rent ridiculous. Josh, you tell them you have a pet rock, and when they say, "Oh, that's okay," you got like 5 cats and a dog, and remind them they said pets were okay. That's funny. Now I've heard people say, not here, but like just people in general, in general conversations, saying that like it's pretty easy to kind of sneak in a cat, I guess, without telling management. But like if you have a dog, it's kind of hard, I guess, because dogs bark and maybe they're bigger or whatever. But I've heard people say that they've had cats without telling management. I don't know if they got in trouble or not, but I just remember people saying that. People say you can get away with having a cat, like one cat. But I don't know. Christopher Rival says alcohol brought me to harder drugs, so I'm glad I quit. Yeah, talk about gateway drug. Alcohol is probably the biggest gateway drug. Roxanne says I stopped drinking about 6 years ago now. Now I just drink a nice beer or have a glass of champagne like I did last night to celebrate my birthday. It was good. Yeah, the occasional drink every now and then. Nothing wrong with that. As long as you don't have an actual addiction or whatever. There's Aaron West talking about Trucker John channel memberships, super chats. Yeah, we got super chats. You can support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. You can buy me a coffee at the Buy Me a Coffee link. But yes, we have memberships starting off at $1.99, $1.99 a month. But subscribing is free. Speaking of subscriptions, we are up to 3,950. Now, remember just a few days ago we were at 3,908 or something like that. So we've really been picking up the subscriptions lately. These last few days, we're up to 3,950. I have a feeling it won't be too long when I will be having to go out and find a dandelion somewhere to eat. We've got less than 50 to go now. We're under, because I think I'm at 39. Well, I don't know where we're at, 39.50 or 51. So at this rate, I'll be picking up that dandelion in maybe a couple weeks or something, a few weeks. So thanks everyone for liking, subscribing, and sharing, and getting the show out there. I do appreciate you. Now here's Politic is in here. Politic, good to see you. Says just rewatched Sunset Boulevard at 75. It's still more than holds up. Fancy just watched The Birds. Is that the Hitchcock movie? Hitchcock. The old Hitchcock movie, The Birds. I remember watching that when I was a little boy, and it was. I thought it was really kind of just creepy. The birds were just so creepy. And then whenever I saw blackbirds, flying around, I'd be like, ooh, no, no. And Wes also reminds us about the PayPal. There's PayPal if you want to do that. Help support the show. You don't mind? Oh yeah, Kevin Anderson says I'm watching first episodes of Alien Earth, and then I guess Aaron says we watched that last night. It was good. What is Alien Earth? Is that a drama or a documentary? What is that? MJ Daniel says my mother watches Blue Bloods all the time, and I find that show to be so boring. I do not get the appeal. Is Blue Bloods about a family of cops or something like that? Jolie loves Josh Johnson. I don't even know who Josh Johnson is. What big songs does he have? Maybe I probably heard it. If he has any big songs, I've probably heard him. I just didn't know who he was. Aaron West says, I love Blue Bloods. I'm excited for Boston Blue, the new spinoff. I think these are cop shows, right? Some type of cop shows. I've never watched it. Jolie says, I don't drink often, but when I do, I commit to it. There you go. There you go. None of this halfway shit. MJ Daniel says, I do not drink anymore, but when I did, I drank enough for 3 people. You and me both, MJ. You and me both. Fancy says, cats get in the windows. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to hide your cat at that point. Roxanne79 says, Josh Johnson is a very hilarious young man who is a writer on The Daily Show. Oh, I think someone's mentioned him before. And is also on stand-up. So he's a comedian. When you guys were talking about, I thought you were talking about a singer or something. Okay, so, but I think someone's mentioned him before. And now I remember the Daily Show thing. And it was probably Roxanne who explained it. So he's on the Daily Show. He's on a stand-up tour. He does live stream shows on Tuesday, 9 Eastern on YouTube. Very current and worth watching. All right, good old Josh Johnson. Aaron West, I'm all for anything with Donnie Wahlberg, even a conservative cop show. So Donnie Wahlberg is in the Blue Bloods show? Okay. Yeah, Donnie's cool. I remember him back in the day. He was in another cop show, right? A long time ago? I think it was different than Blue Bloods, right? It was earlier. Search for You says, TJ, you don't need an animal because you have all of us. You guys are my support animals, I guess. And there's the link Jolie put for Josh Johnson. Good old Josh Johnson. You'll love him. Josh says, how many for mushrooms? Well, we were saying 5,000. So at 4,000, it's a dandelion. At 5,000, it'll be a shroom, a magic shroom. And we kind of sound like a bunch of people were going to come out, and we were going to have a shroom party, like with kimchi and I think the big dog, Damon Dog, the big dog. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's get to 4,000 and then we'll see. Bree Drinkerco says shrooms at Josh. Yeah. Okay. Aaron West, Alien Earth is a prequel to the Alien movies. All right. So has that already started? Because I remember seeing a preview to that, and it looks really, really good. But I have not seen it yet. So, yeah, I need to see that one. And Kevin Anderson says, Trucker John, the Alien movie is by James Cameron. Imagine if Xenomorph landed on Earth to kill us all. That's Alien Earth. Okay. Yeah, and now I got it. I remember seeing the previews to that. I need to see it. Chris Doug says there is a lesser-known Hitchcock film called Frenzy, 1972, about a serial killer in London. If you've never seen it, I highly recommend it. I think I remember that movie. I'm not sure if I saw it or not, but I think I remember. It might have been one of his last ones, I think. Hitchcock film. Politics says, watch for Trump distractions around September 3rd. Epstein victims holding a news conference that day. And if Wes Webb was here, he would say that they're just being exploited or something, and they all made $500,000 each. So what are they crying about? Aaron West with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Aaron. Yippee to Aaron. I do appreciate you. You get your thumb up and the heart. So subscribe. Yeah, god damn it, subscribe. No, I appreciate it. Probably most people in the chat are subscribers, I believe, and thank you so much. But let's keep getting us out in the algorithm. But I've had some pretty good viewerships on some of my videos lately. I think that helps a lot too. So if you see those videos, just watch them and give them thumbs up and share them and get them out there, and help us to keep growing. MJ Daniel says, thinking about switching from Amazon to Netflix. They canceled my favorite show, and season 2 of the One Piece live action looks good. I like season 1, though I did not know a thing about it. I still don't know a thing about it, about the One Piece. But I do. I have Netflix. I've had a lot of other streaming services too, but Netflix, I think I kind of like that one the best. Right now, here's what I'm watching now. Okay, because I've gone over this. Okay, I have House of Cards. Ouch. Which I never. Over the years, I think I'm just now on season 2. I've got Queen of the South. I think it's very good. I really like that. It's about cartels, drug cartels, and all of that. I think it's really, really good. And then I just started. I picked up the Good Girls with Christina Hendrickson and the gal from Parks and Rec, the black lady from Parks and Rec, and Mae Whitman from. Remember, she was the daughter on that other show. And I love those 3 ladies. They're so good. And I remember I saw the first few seasons of the Good Girls, and then I hadn't watched it for like a few years. So now I picked up. I'm on season 3 or whatever it is, I think, right now, and I really love that show. It's a good show, The Good Girls, right? And then I just added, because I like to have 4. I like to have rotating 4 in my little continue watching list, and I just put what was the 4th one I put in there? Damn it, I can't remember the 4th one. Let's see, what have I got? I can't remember. So yeah, I'm watching Good Girls. They kind of changed the format on Netflix. So I'm watching in my group of 4, Good Girl. Oh, Supergirl. So I never watched Supergirl. That's right. And I just watched the first couple episodes of season 1 of Supergirl. And that's, what? At least 10, 15 years ago. And I'm just now getting to that one. But I like it. I think it's pretty cool. I guess I figured, well, I just watched Superman the other day, and so I'll watch Supergirl. Even though I know these are kind of whole different kind of universes. That the James Gunn Superman is completely different than this CW version of Supergirl. But what can I tell you? What can I tell you? I don't know if anyone's on right now that you guys want to watch. I'm going to be ending the show here real quick. So that's what I'm watching: Supergirl, Good Girls, Queen of the South, House of Cards. All very woman centric. Good Girls is about three ladies, right? Three lead ladies. Supergirl is about Supergirl, a girl who's super. And Queen of the South, very strong women leads, women who are drug cartel leaders. And then House of Cards, right now I'm still early in it, but I do know that, what's her face? Especially after Kevin Spacey had his big thing, they broomed him out. Then she took over, right? Pretty much. But anyhow, so that's what I'm currently watching on Netflix. Are those group of four there? Let's see. Kimchi with a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Kimchi. Yippee, going out to Kimchi. I do appreciate you for that. And Chris Doug, $4.99. Thank you, Chris Doug. We made the goal. Was that the goal? Yippee to Chris Doug. Thank you so much, and yippee to all y'all for making us, helping us reach the goal today. I do appreciate you a whole lot. And Fancy says, I like The Gilded Age and Bridgerton. I've never watched any of those shows, of those shows there. But since we made the goal, we might have a special guest come out. Let's see. We might have a guest. Oh, were you guys expecting someone else? Did you think maybe someone who's a bit crusty and stale might come out? Did I fool you? Am I not what you were expecting? Well, old Sparkly Beard here can come out and say hi, too. It's not just the other curmudgeon over there. Anyhow, I just want to come out and say thank you, everyone, for all the super chats and for all the support from everyone, all the members, all the subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. And I just want to say thanks. And I can't wait till we get to 4,000. I want to see Trucker John. I want to see if he survives that dandelion, because quite frankly, I have my doubts. And so I'm already got my eye on that couch. I like that couch. I'm just going to get stuff when he dies from eating the dandelion. I'm taking the couch. I know Tough Cookie already has dibs on the table, but I got dibs on the couch. So, now you know that we're just as bad off as Trucker John in terms of furniture, I guess, apparently. But anyhow, thanks guys for being here. You guys are awesome, and just want you know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, and you guys have a good one. Have a good one, extra good one. Thanks, Paul, the purple beard guy, for popping in. I do appreciate you. Haven't seen you in a while. Yeah. All right, whatever. All right, thanks guys for all the donations. I appreciate you too. Everyone tries to make me like I'm the bad guy. Oh, there's Tough Cookie. He's so he's so grumpy and grouchy and all that. But come on. Just because I don't pussyfoot around, I ain't no pussyfooting around. Okay, I don't. I'm me and what's her face. We don't do this pussyfooting around. All right, so yeah, none of that. I'm not that bad of a guy, right? I'm just a little cookie in my little cookie corner, in my little cookie jar. I'm not that bad of a guy. All right. Anyhow, guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. And hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. If the good Lord willing, right? Right? Am I right? The good Lord willing. See you tomorrow. All right. All right. So those guys were there. And again, just thank you guys so much for making the goal today. Thank you guys for being here. We do appreciate you for sure. Make sure if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button. And I know most of you have. So just another thank you very much. Thank you all for everything, for being here, for subscribing, for all the great comments, keeping the chat going, helping me bounce off some ideas off of you guys, and all that kind of stuff. I do appreciate you. And we'll see you again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Yeah, tomorrow's 9 a.m. So we do an early show tomorrow, and we'll do it all again. We will be talking about all kinds of stuff. I guess that's about it. I'm just trying to think if I forgot anything that I need to bring up. I guess that's it. So everyone have a great day, great rest of your day. I'll see you guys in the chat rooms. Again, thanks so much for all the folks that donated. We had just to go over it real quick. West Webb, $1.11. Big Dog and see that's Damon Dog, $4.99. Aaron West, $2. Kimchi, $1.99, and Chris Doug, $4.99. Thank you guys so much for those super chats. I do appreciate you. A big old yippee going out to you. Thanks to everyone that subscribed. We are at 3,950 subscribers. Let's keep it going. Keep it growing. Let's have a special day where I go out and pick a dandelion to eat as soon as we get to 4,000 subscribers. All right. In the meantime, time for words of wisdom. Let's go ahead, get that paper and pen out, and get ready to write this down. This is really good stuff. Okay, you ready? Today's words of wisdom are as follows. Okay, just remember.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John Livestream. Yeah, the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna come back and do it all it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food and movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shrugs, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. Apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. So you want to take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade. Just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills. It's about staying in the hunt. It's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road. That's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows. So go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road. Just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret. It'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life. Everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot. You're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road. last road is calling, so you better hurry along.